This is the ballad of the Rambling Troubadours, based on a true story. This adventure started with a less than bright idea, like how other crazy stories start. Didn't think much about it before they started to shout it. Luckily they all had a lot of heart. Three friends started talking how biking is better than walking to the New York World's Fair in '39. Bikes with only one speed in the heat of summer. They said, yeah, this is gonna work out fine. Started telling friends and family what they had planned to do. Some said you have to be crazy. You know it's about 1,300 miles to New York from Baraboo. They pulled 2 trailers for clothes, food, and a tent, other items of necessity. When they started up Sauk Hill and came down again, they were faced with some harsh reality. Maybe we are crazy, maybe we are fools. 1,300 miles like this to New York from Baraboo. We'll never say quit, we'll never say die. It's New York or bust, so ride, ride, ride. Bob, Ken, and Earl, these were the guys. Didn't do it for money or fame. Mosquitoes ate them alive. Their tent only had 3 sides. Kept pushing on to keep their good names. Madison, Wheaton, Chicago, South Bend. Picked up mail at the P.O. Everything was alright. They turned in for the night. The next morning they were raring to go. They may have been crazy, they may have been fools. 1,300 miles to New York from Baraboo. They never said quit, they never said die. It was pedal, 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 ride, ride, ride. Next stop, Elkhart. Money on the road doesn't go too far. Had some find a way to make some more. Pitched Alka-Seltzer to advertise. Got a singing gig to their surprise. $15 for the Rambling Troubadours. Money for smoking, finances were choking. It was cheaper if they rolled their own. Got into a great big fight they didn't need at all that night. Quite a cost, just a bitch and moan. Maybe they were crazy and maybe they were fools. 1,300 miles to New York from Baraboo. They had faith that God was on their side. It's pedal, 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 pray, ride, ride, ride. They would sing and farm for dough, get some rest, and it's time to go. Sometimes they would stay a little long. At the Alex farm, it was a week of feast. They got their strength back at least. Alex didn't like pranks, but he liked their songs. Sang with a band on the 4th of July. Had some fun as the night flew by. Next day they were on the road again. Cleveland, Ohio, me, oh my, oh. Heavy traffic almost done them in. May have been crazy, they may have been fools. 1,300 miles to New York from Baraboo. This was getting dangerous. Eyes kept open wide. Got hit once but kept on going. Ride, ride, ride. Going east a little late, they rolled into New York State. Went northwest to see Niagara Falls. Bob and Earl had a fight. They let it go and made it right. Seeing those sights was worth it all. 3 guys with guts and just a little nuts were interviewed at the Auburn P.O. Got a story in the local press. PR doesn't mean success. They always love those letters from home. They may have been crazy, they may have been fools. Closer to New York, a world away from Baraboo. Up hills they pump, and down hills they glide. on to New York City, baby. Ride, ride, ride. It was peculiar funny when they ran out of money, finding ways to earn some more somehow. Stayed a week at the Trip Farm, hired hands and tired arms, baling hay, sang and milked some cows. Bought a radio at Sears, soon their money disappeared. Patterson stone broke in the rain. It was said before, now proved for sure, the boys had heart from the start. Sometimes they just didn't use their brains. Maybe they were crazy and maybe they were fools. 1,300 miles to New York from Baraboo. Patterson, New Jersey wasn't a good time. Determined they made it through. Ride, ride, ride. Always dark before the dawn broke, but they had their songs. Sing 'em good for money and chow. Fine folks help like before, kindness that you can't ignore. A bridge away from their destination now. Well, they made it safe and sound. Men with heart, you can't keep them down. 1,300 miles in 53 days. Had fun at the World's Fair. It's more about how they got there. How to be careful about what you say. Maybe they were crazy and maybe they were fools to bike 1,300 miles to New York and Baraboo. Just when you thought, how crazy can this get? They did it so Earl could win a dollar bet. You may think the story's through, but they had to get back to Baraboo. Worked and saved to buy a car. Bob wanted to get back for a special date. Oil trouble made him one day late. Bob loved Dorothy, that's the romantic part. Life's a little crazy, but it's wonderful too. I'm so glad they made it back from New York to Baraboo. So Bob could marry Dorothy, make a friend of mine. Read life in the slow track if you got the time.